Good afternoon, everybody. I just realised I had my microphone muted. And welcome to this very special edition of Filbert Fly's Bimbles Around Britain. Today we're live streaming my very first group flight. We've got a couple of regulars here with me, Mossy and Science Guy. We've got Trenchman, who's something of an expert on the Snowdonia area of Wales, but his mic isn't working, unfortunately. And we've got Forex, who's one of my friends from the MSFS Bush Pilots Discord server. So today we are taking off from here in Aberporth. We're going to take off from runway 7 and we're going to fly northwest up towards Llanarth, over Cardigan Bay to Aberystwyth. We're then going to be flying over Machynlleth, Dolgellau, Llanelltyd, the Coedy Brenin Forest Park, Trawsfynydd, Blaenau Ffestiniog, and we're going to end up flying around Mount Snowdon and then descend down to Caernarfon airport where we will be landing. So I'm quite excited. Let's get underway. Hello Pablo, welcome to the stream, nice to see you. So what I'm going to do, guys, is line up on the runway about halfway down, roughly in front of where I am now. And then if you all want to line up behind me, and we'll take off together. Oh, I see Tolstoy up ahead in the distance as well. He hasn't made it onto the voice chat, but he's another one of the bush pilots I fly with. I don't know who Charlie Golf 100 is. He's obviously with us. Could be Trenchman. Could be someone else. Mossy and Forex, feel free to backtrack a little bit if you'd like. I'll move up a tiny bit to give Science Guy and Charlie Golf a bit more room.
Good morning, Filbert.
Hello, Tolstoy. Nice to have you here. I saw you arriving.
I'm cutting it kind of close. Sorry about that, but
no, don't worry.
I made it just in time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, welcome to my first ever group flight live stream.
Well, great. Thank you very much.
It's nice to have you here. So, yeah, we're just all lining up on the runway, and I thought we'd all take off together and then just head west. So feel free to tuck in behind Forex. Ah, you're Winter Stewart, Pablo. Right, okay. Come join us on the runway. This is quite tricky because I'm listening to the voice chat. I'm also looking at the YouTube and Twitch text chat. So if it sounds like I'm talking to myself, I might be, but I might also be talking to someone on the stream. So initially I thought we'd climb to about 1,500 feet, something like that. If you press B to set your altimeters before we go,
yep,
then we'll all be on the same pressure. And I'll talk to you more once we're in the air about my plan. Okay.
Awesome.
Let's go.
Awesome.
So those of you watching the stream, I'm doing quite a lot of flying from outside to try and get all the others in shot. But this does mean a little bit all over the place. Right, so essentially we're following this major road, which you'll just see down to the right initially, towards Llanarth. And we follow this road all the way to the edge of Snowdonia National Park, more or less. But it's not exact, you know, we can fly a little bit left, a little bit right. If you see anything interesting, feel free to go and have a look. Or just follow the straight lines on the flight plan, it's another option. So I'm just going to get myself levelled off at 1500 feet-ish. And then I'll do a few more exterior shots. And then I can start giving you all of the spiel I've prepared about all the places we're flying over, which some of you will no doubt find deathly boring, and I might as well, so I might stop halfway.
Will there be a pop quiz afterwards?
There won't, but in future flights I might incorporate that.
Okay. It's okay, I'll be paying attention anyway.
Good, I knew I could rely on you. So I've got to thank Trenchman, who I don't think has managed to join us, but is in the chat room. I must thank him for a lot of the information I've gathered. He's sent it through to me, knowing a thing or two about this part of the world. So I'll start off by telling you about Aberporth, where we've just left. Two interesting facts. There's a range of deep caverns that were used for ammunition storage during the war there. And there was also a government plan to use them for storing national treasures, but in the end, they mostly went to Aberystwyth instead, which is our second waypoint on this flight plan. So remember that. I might at least quiz you on that one.
Okay. Ammunitions.
Yeah. Ammunition, but no national treasures.
Yeah. Those are all in the Tower of London.
Some of them are, but many, I mean already you haven't been paying attention to us, many are in Aberystwyth.
I guess I had the crown jewels in mind.
Yeah. There's also quite a lot in the British Museum, I imagine. Don't ask me any questions about this. I don't know exactly what they mean by national treasures. And possibly it was only during the war, I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, very hastily researched. So this part of Wales is obviously largely flat, with a few rolling hills here and there. It's very, very pretty. But the highlight of this trip is undoubtedly going to be after Machynlleth, where we will be entering the valley system through Snowdonia. I'll tell you a bit more about that when we get there.
I think this is my first trip in a 152, except for the 8 learn how to fly tutorials.
Oh, really?
Simulator.
Yeah. But it's the only plane I've ever flown in real life, so I've got a bit of a soft spot for it, even though it's a bit on the slow side and a bit noisy. I do like it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much I don't suppose you have seen anything at all of my YouTube channel, but I'm doing a series of VFR flights, which essentially are going to be a tour of Britain. And I'm calling them Bimbles around Britain. This is the 5th episode of that. So we've flown here from London via the south coast and the Isle of Wight and places like that. And my plan eventually is to complete a whole circuit.
Charlie Golf is over to me.
Sorry, say that again.
So Charlie Golf is going for it.
Yeah.
he's caught up with me.
Science guy's been overtaking me and he's just gone for a little wander to the east. He's coming back now. The A487 has just appeared on my little nav map. That's what we're following here. And this village we're coming up to is Llanarth. Now, the Wikipedia page for Llanarth gave very little away. I can tell you it's got a pub, a butcher, a convenience store, and some other amenities. But its real claim to fame is that it is the childhood home of Daffyd Jones, Welsh rugby international. And according to Trenchmen, these days it's mostly home to retired sea captains. I wonder what Charlie Golf is flying. It's coming up as a generic plane on here, so maybe it's either an add-on or a reskin of one of the default planes, but it certainly seems nippier than a 152.
I noticed as I was watching your feed that even though I am in a 150, I'm appearing as a Mooney.
Oh,
in your
really?
feed. Yeah.
Have you got a different livery on your 152?
That could be, yes. Well, maybe I'll change it to a default livery at our first stop.
Yeah. I mean, we're not actually having any stops, I'm afraid.
Oh.
So, no.
Well, maybe I'll do a forced landing in that nice little field down there.
Yeah, go on, do that. Yeah, people are free to try that sort of thing if they want. So, yeah. No, this is very much airport to airport, I'm afraid. For my first one, I might do longer ones later on with a few more stops if this goes well. So I'm going to head out over the sea, just briefly to follow the line on the flight plan. But this is Cardigan Bay, which is known as I think Ceredigion Bay by the Welsh. Could be Ceredigion, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's known for its unique marine life. It's got the largest population, believe it or not, of bottlenose dolphins in the UK. And you can also find other species of dolphins, minke whales, puffins, and sharks here. So it's a very interesting place for its wildlife.
Good idea not to crash into the sea.
Say that again, Forex.
Good idea not to crash into the sea.
Yeah, ideally it would be best avoided. Science guy's doing some crazy aerobatics.
Yeah. He's having fun.
I won't lie to you, I'm quite impressed. I presume he's either in the aerobat or has some sort of a mod for the 152. I've been neglecting the YouTube chat. Fusilier, thank you. Glad you're enjoying it. And yes, Pablo, do you need us to slow down a little? I don't know where you've gone. You're a little behind us. We can slow down a tad. Slow down to 80 or to give you a chance to catch up. I imagine if you're watching this on YouTube and listening to me on YouTube, it's probably going to be delayed by about 20 seconds, which could make communicating interesting, but anyway.
So Filbert, I've just changed my livery on the fly, so I should appear as a 152 now.
Oh, okay, great.
I'll have to catch up now to see.
Try and zoom in on you, see what... No, you're too
I
far
was
off.
hovering there for a while.
Yeah, well, we'll slow down so that you and Winter Stewart can catch up.
Yeah, I'm not that far behind. I'm close enough to actually see aircraft.
Okay, yeah,
In addition to name tags, so I'm not that far behind.
good. Yeah, I've just seen your lights appearing behind me. So yeah, really all of Wales is pretty stunning, the countryside.
Really beautiful.
Good, glad you're enjoying it. But really you ain't seen nothing yet. Ah, hello there, Pablo. You've caught us up, I'm pleased to see. Just as I said I was going to fly this next leg over the sea, and I haven't really. Fortunately, Charlie Golf 100 has taken this to heart. It's doing it for me. Got too fixated on the A487.
Maybe he didn't hear your warning about the sharks.
Maybe. The coastline in real life is a lot more rocky and impressive than it looks in the sim. I think that's terrain mesh limitation, probably. Well, I'm going to get back up to 90 knots if that's alright with everyone. I think everyone's caught up. So we're just approaching Aberystwyth now, which is a big university town. It's where Prince Charles took a semester out from Cambridge to study Welsh. And in 2019, you'll be pleased to hear that Aberystwyth Uni was awarded Welsh University of the Year for teaching quality. So there you go. They're coming thick and fast, these facts.
They are.
I've got more about Aberystwyth. I just like to leave it hanging for a little while.
I see you up all night last night on Google. Up to 4 AM.
See, when I fly with 4X and Tolstoy, the guy who leads those group flights around South America, what's his name? Oh, Lost Goat on a Hill. He was going to join us today.
Lost Goat on a Hill and
Bullhorns, yeah. They often have a lot of interesting facts about the places we're flying over, and it adds to the experience. But I think the key is the facts have to be interesting, and I've got to fine-tune mine a little bit.
Well, I did not know Prince Charles studied Welsh in that little town.
Yes, for a whole semester. So there you go.
An entire semester.
You see it's got a nice little harbour, and it's also known for the Aberystwyth Cliff Railway, which scales Constitution Hill, giving access to panoramic views from the top. It's also home to a preserved narrow gauge railway. I haven't gone so far as to look up where Constitution Hill is. It might be this one I'm flying over now, or it could be somewhere completely different. Keep your eyes peeled for a cliff railway anyway.
Could be a cliff railway right here with these orange top buildings.
Oh yes, I see where you mean. I think you might be right. Yeah, good spot. Good spot, well done.
I'm going to have a closer look.
Okay. Let's do a little lap of Aberystwyth. I'll come and join you with a little look.
Yeah, because it looked like there were some buildings that might house the base of the railway, and then another little building at the top.
Okay.
Hard to say. It doesn't look quite as much like a railway down close as it did from up in the air.
Right.
Just looked like a straight line.
But a cliff railway, I imagine, is basically like a funicular, so it might well be a straight line. See, if I'd known how fascinating this particular fact would prove, I'd have done more reading on it.
Yeah. I think we might have broken formation. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. I promised people this would take no more than 2 hours, and I tried it. I did my final test of it last night, and it only took an hour from end to end. So we've got a bit of time. We can afford to go and look at things.
All right.
See, this is where we need Trenchman. He could confirm that this is, whether this is or isn't a cliff railway. I think it is. I think it is. I'm going to say that what you're seeing now, those of you who are watching on YouTube, this is definitely the cliff railway. There we are. Case closed.
There you have
It's
it.
close.
Oh dear. Right, onwards. So from Aberystwyth we're heading 045 all the way to Machynlleth. Oh, I missed one more fact about Aberystwyth. Quick. Turn around. No, don't turn around. They also say it forms a cultural link between North Wales and South Wales. So we're very near the border between North and South Wales. And this river here, which is called the River Dovey, is considered the boundary between the two. And when we get to Machynlleth, that's when you need to decide really whether you want to take the scenic route over the top of the hills, in which case I'd recommend climbing to about 2,500 feet or maybe even higher, or whether you want to come through the valleys with me. I'm going to be going at about 1,000 feet to start off with, something like that.
I think you have a pretty good idea going there.
Yeah? Okay, good. I sent the flight plan to Trenchman, and he said it might prove a bit tricky for people who are new to flying. But you know what? Worst case scenario, you crash, you respawn on me, and we carry on as if nothing ever happened.
That's it.
Oh, who's this? Oh, it's Winter Stewart. So as you will notice from where I'm flying, the line on the flight plan is a rough guide. I think it's quite nice to fly in up the river estuary myself, or you can weave your way between the hills. But the main thing is that you end up overhead that town. And I'm going to start my descent to about 1,000 feet now. Hello Samsonite, welcome to the stream. You join us just as we're approaching Machynlleth. And yes, I did spend a while learning how to pronounce that. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but I'm going to keep doing it anyway.
I'm certainly not going to try to repeat it.
Pardon for it, say that again?
I'm certainly not going to try to repeat it.
I have to say, I've never come across a language that when you read it, the pronunciation can be so different from what you think as Welsh. Even Dutch, which is not an easy language, you can make a guess at. But these, no chance. Oh, thanks, Samsonite. Those of you not watching the stream, he says I pronounce it good. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll accept it. So yes, I can tell you now we're more or less overhead, that Machynlleth is a market town, and its Wikipedia page is quite interesting. Apparently it claims to be the ancient capital of Wales, but it's never held any official recognition as such. Also applied for city status twice, but was unsuccessful. So I think whoever wrote the Wikipedia page doesn't like it here. It is, however, home to the Museum of Modern Art Wales and also an alternative technology centre. So those of you who are... Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say it sounds well-rounded.
Yes. Yes. So those of you who are following the river estuary, you can follow either branch of the river where I am. I'm going to be sticking to the left branch and following it round sort of in line with the A487 if you've got your little nav maps open. Oh, good luck, Samson. I hope you find it works okay. I'm sure if you turn the settings down enough, it will. So those of you who are following me down through the valleys, I just want to say I accept no liability for any damage to your aircraft that may occur.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll file my insurance claim and quote Filbert.
My little nav map keeps wanting to zoom in and not show me where I am, so I'll bring that one up. So we're going to be making a left turn once you've got Machynlleth on your right to follow this river. This first little hamlet you come to is called Pantperthog, and you'll all be pleased to hear I don't have a single fact about it. me just continue following this little river. This next turn to the left is quite sharp, so just be aware of that. It frightened me yesterday. I meant to change the route slightly to avoid it and forgot. Pretty spectacular though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Really nice.
Oh, I've just paused my sim. And a left turn here at Corris. And as you get to this lake, which is called Mwyngil Lake, again you need to make a pretty sharp right-hand turn. But it is worth a look, it's quite pretty. So this part we're flying now is all part of the Mach Loop, named after Machynlleth, which is used by the Royal Air Force for pilot training, including fast jet training. So they come whizzing around these valleys rather faster than we are now.
So they don't fly the Savage Cubs, I guess.
I couldn't swear by it, but I don't think so. I think by the time they get here, they're generally flying bigger or faster things. Science guy's looking very close to that hillside. I'm a little bit worried. And then once we're out of the valley, we're just making a sort of gentle, sweeping left-hand turn round to Dolgellau, which I also have no facts about. But where we are now is near Crossfox's Inn, which is possibly this building you can see down here. And if you look at maps of the Mach Loop, if you turn right here, then you keep going round in a circuit through other valleys. So if you want to practice your fast flying around here, it's a good place to do it. So yeah, if I remember rightly, we're still alright at about 1,000 feet here. There is a point where you have to start climbing quite quickly, but I'll tell you when we get there. So Llanelltyd, just the other side of this river here, has an abbey called Sima Abbey, which is a 12th century Grade 1 listed building, and is also home to St Illtyd's Church, which is one of the oldest in Wales, and that's Grade 2 listed. And we're going to make a right turn following the river up this valley here. What did I pronounce wrong, Pablo? Llanelltyd? Yeah, you might be right. But yeah, the scenery is superb, I agree. Right up there with the best landscapes of the world, I think. If anyone has the chance to grab a couple of screenshots and post them in the Discord later, that would be awesome.
Yep.
Simone, too simple with the map, mate. Well, if anyone wants to, if anyone wants to refly this at a later date without the map, they are of course welcome. I did try doing it true VFR actually with no map, and I decided, at least with you lot with me, it was worth keeping the map up. So the area we're flying over at the moment is the Coedy Brennin Forest Park, which is world famous for its mountain biking trails apparently, although I can't say I'd ever heard of it myself. So we're now heading straight up to that lake in the distance, which is, I think, again, I could get in trouble for my pronunciation, but I think it's pronounced Trawsfynydd, meaning across the mountain. And the lake is actually a man-made wet reservoir, 4.8 square kilometres in size, which makes it slightly larger than Wales's largest natural lake, Bala. A lot of people flying straight through me at the moment, which is not an unpleasant sensation, I must say. So yes, this reservoir was built between 1924 and 1928 to supply water for the hydroelectric power station. And if you look over to the west as we fly over it, you'll see one of the dams. There's a series of dams, but that's the only one I've found. Also later used to supply water to the Trawsfynydd nuclear power station, which we're going to spot at the north end of the lake. I'm heading right for it at the moment. Closed in 1991. And the only one, this is fascinating, this fact, wait for it. This is the only nuclear power station built in the UK inland. All the rest were coastal. See, that's rendered you all speechless.
That's it.
For those of you watching the stream, this is the nuclear power station just under my left wing now.
Filbert, I think your plane is glowing green a little bit.
Is it? Oh, from the power station. Very good. Yeah, it's going to take 100 years to decommission it, so it's...
Yeah.
That'd be why.
That's the best I could do on short notice.
No, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. So I'm at 2,000 feet now, and we are going to fly over some higher ground, so you might want to climb a little bit, but it's not urgent. I'll tell you when it's urgent. So these grey parts in the landscape up ahead are part of Blaenau Ffestiniog. They're slate quarries. And that was the main industry around here until the 50s. And it's now home to the Ffestiniog and Welsh Highlands Heritage Railway, which runs from here down to Porthmadog in the west.
Filbert, were the slate tiles used on roofing or in flooring, or what else would slate have been used for?
It was. I know it's very common in roofs. You do also get slate floors, but I think that the main usage was in roofing.
Okay.
And it was exported from round here as well. I think it was quite a big deal. But that is the limit of my knowledge on slate.
That's just the perfect amount, thank you.
Good, you're welcome.
Oh yeah, very interesting looking slate pit.
Yes. It's quite varied, the landscape on this route. So we had the lush
Very.
green forest and then the slate, and now we've got these rocky mountains ahead. So we're going to make a left turn. The route that I've planned is not super accurate, but there are two hills. There's a big hill, and then just in the foreground a little hill. We're going to fly in between those. Do a wide arc round. And this is where you really should be thinking about being at 2,000 feet and still climbing after that, because the next valley that we enter has a dead end, and yeah, you want to be nice and high by then. Hello, Paulo Santos from the Azores. Nice to see you. I agree, I have a soft spot for the Cessna 152.
Is it bad to be editing a photo and not watching where you're flying?
Well, we'll soon see, won't we?
Oh, I'm actually heading the exact wrong direction. I just looked up.
Oh, then yes, it was bad. Whereabouts are you? Oh, yes, I see you.
I think I was doing a wide arcing right turn when I should have been doing a wide arcing left turn.
Right. Dear.
Science guy's going for it.
I know. He's loving it.
Yeah.
So this lake that I'm just over the ridge, is Llyn Mwyngil. I have nothing to tell you about it except that you should be at least 2,000 feet by this point. And I would recommend continuing your climb from here so that you're at about 3,000 feet before we enter the next valley. And to be honest, that's probably overcautious, but I did hit a brick wall the first time I flew this flight, so I don't want the same to happen to you. A rock wall, I should say. Not a brick wall.
Filbert, where do you suggest we post photos?
You can post them on my Discord server if you like, in the group flight discussion bit. That would be my preference.
Group flight discussion. All right,
yeah,
very good.
Yeah, but also, any way you want, share the love.
Well, I will. I'm going to start with the one photo which took me off course.
Okay.
If I can find it.
No rush. I mean, it does get a little
That's
bit
okay.
dicey now. So we're going to be after the lake. We're going to be turning right, threading our way up this steep valley. Paolo, that's a good suggestion, flying the islands in the middle of the Atlantic. I would like to do that at some point.
In a jet?
Perhaps. We could fly there in the jet at least.
That's right. We could always switch out airplanes halfway through.
Yeah, we could. There's a lot of scope for group flying that I think we're only scratching the surface of. We could take the A320 or the 787 somewhere, change planes, have a bit of an explore, and this could become really a life's work. So this mountain ahead of us as we turn right is Mount Snowdon, and that was our goal really, to reach here. It's the highest mountain in Wales, at 3,560 feet. It's also the busiest mountain in the UK and the third most visited attraction in Wales. And you can walk up it. A lot of not climbers, walkers I suppose, walk up it each year. Or you can take the Snowdon Mountain Railway up to the summit, and you can see a building up there, which I think is a cafe. So I'm going to continue my climb to about 5,000 feet, because this is really spectacular when seen from above as well. Have we lost anyone on that ridge? Doesn't look like it, not so far. Good.
That's because we're all professional pilots.
Absolutely. I should have had more faith.
Yeah, underestimated us.
Yeah, I only went off track for about 10 miles. That's not bad. What I should do next time is just work on my photo in a smaller window so I can see what my airplane's doing.
Well, you live and learn.
That's a nice little lake.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to know a bit about the geology of it. You know, it looks like it had a proper peak at one point, doesn't it? And somehow it's become a crater with a lake in it. It's probably not true at all. This is probably what it's always looked like.
I did an unauthorized landing on Mount Snowdon.
Did you? Nice.
Yes.
I wish I'd caught it. I'm not very good at these this sort of landing, as you know. In the South American tour, there's a guy called, what's his name? Gun Pilot, is it?
Gun Pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who regularly finds tricky remote spots for us all to land, and I've come a cropper a number of times on those, so I won't be demonstrating today. It's a nice, simple airport to have.
You know my solution.
What's that?
Overinflate the tires so you bounce.
Yeah.
I certainly demonstrated that solution several times.
So once you've had your fill of sightseeing, the only thing that's left really is to descend towards Caernarfon Airport, which is more or less due west. The flight plan I've done takes you just south of the airport, because the correct procedure is to join the dead side and then fly a circuit to land. But you can equally just fly straight in, which I think is what I'm going to do, and land on runway 25. So I'll probably make my way in now, but if you lot want to hang back a little bit, then I'll be able to stream all of your landings if you fancy that. I can
Oh
park up.
no, no pressure there.
No pressure.
Oh, great.
Oh, one tip before you start your descent, it'll probably be an idle power descent because you've got a lot of height to lose. Turn your carb heat on.
Got science guys doing loops again.
Is he? Oh yeah. Is it you who often flies inverted Tolstoy?
Not as often as gun pilot, but I do. I'm trying my hand at it. Yes.
Right, yeah, I thought
It's just something new for me.
yeah. I might try that on Tuesday.
Well, Zany just did a touch and go.
Oh really? Oh, I didn't know Zany was here. Hello, Zany. Totally missed
Yeah,
you.
he didn't sign in, but I've seen him in the air.
Yeah, yeah. I wish there was a clearer way where you could see who was part of your group, because, I mean, I'm seeing a DA 62 at 9,000 feet, miles away. Nothing to do with us, probably. So, yeah, it'd be easier to see who's doing what. Anyway, I'm heading in completely the wrong direction. I'm working my way around this cloud, that's why. So you'll see the actual town of Caernarfon on your right as you're approaching the airport, and I've got some facts you'll be pleased to hear. So it's home to Caernarfon Castle, which is not modelled in the sim, unfortunately, which was constructed between 1283 and 1330, along with the medieval town walls and the Grade 1 listed church of St Peblig, and it used to be an important port exporting slate. So there you are, that's Caernarfon in a nutshell.
Do you know what criteria they use to classify things as Grade 1 or Grade 2, etc.?
No, I don't, I'm afraid. It's to do with how historically important they are, I think, and how unique they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure of the specifics.
I would just hate to be a Grade 2 something.
Yeah, I know. Looks like Charlie Golf 100 might be going in for a landing on the old disused runway. Not sure. Yeah, he's down. Yeah, I'm just on short final now, and going to probably turn left onto the disused runway at the end of runway 25, taxi back to the stands. There's some concrete squares for parking on the grass, and if anyone wants to hang back so I can watch you land, that'd be great. Otherwise, I'll see you on the ground. In the meantime, I'll just try and steer the plane from outside so I can spot you. Pablo's down. Ah, a few of you are down. Welcome to Caernarfon. Oh, nearly missed my turning. Take this first spot on the left here. And I'll try and get over to the threshold in time to see. Is there anyone else? No, everyone's down.
No one could handle the pressure.
Oh no, I'm looking. It's alright, I was looking in the wrong direction. I've just missed Zany T. 4X's, yeah, he's down now. Very nicely done. So we've got Science Sky and Tolstoy still in the air.
I have a feeling I'm cutting in too fast for a 152.
I did as well, but it didn't matter. I got away with it. Should be about 60, I think, something like that. Oh, very nice. Very nice. I'm impressed with that.
Well, I think I can walk away from that landing, so it's all right.
Yeah. How did you find the 152?
Oh, it was fun.
Yeah, it's a nice little plane. A little bit bouncy from Science Sky, but not bad. Not bad at all. So how did you find it?
The trip?
The trip, yeah.
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Oh, good. Good, I'm
They were
pleased.
terrific and a lot of fun.
A lot of
things
nice
to
new scenery. I learned some new facts for next time I'm on a trivia game show.
Good, I'm pleased. I'm pleased it was worth doing. I enjoyed it as well. Oh, hang on, I've got a question in the YouTube. Where is Caernarfon? It's in North Wales, Fayad. It's in North Wales. Well, I'll wait for you all to park up and...
Just don't end it. I want to get a nice screenshot of us all.
okay, yeah, no worries. In fact, what I might do is turn off my labels and get a good screenshot that way. Traffic nameplate off.
Ouch.
Who's that? I've just turned the nameplates off. Someone's just gone into the back of the cub. Yeah, you know who you are.
There, I aligned myself slightly better.
Oh, good, thanks. Someone a little bit more movement going on.
Jockeying for position.
Yeah. I won't forget the Azores, Paolo. I won't forget. I'll have a look at it at some point. I wish I hadn't turned the nameplates off now. I don't know who's doing what. But I think we're getting there with the parking, I think. Just zoom in with a little bit with the drone. Oh, too much. That's about right.
Silver, you want the ugly duckling to get out of your snapshot?
Not at all. Not at all. It's nicely positioned in the middle. I'll just let whoever this is finish parking and we'll do a couple of screenshots and call it a day. I think they're alright there in the middle. Oh, are they there in the middle of the taxiway? Fine. Well, I think what I'll do is I'll end the stream here. We can still chat a bit more. But I don't imagine this is that entertaining for the YouTube mob. But before I go, I do just want to say thank you ever so much to everyone who's supported my channel and for getting me over 500 subs and up to 600 and whatever we are now. It's been a true pleasure having you all fly with me today and also to chat with you on YouTube while I fly, those who haven't come along. But for now, we'll make this the end of this particular stream. I'm back again tomorrow with an EasyJet flight from Vienna to Amsterdam. Thanks for joining me today.